Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about 3 smaller yet shorter indie horror books that I think you should read. These are all from either small independent presses or self-published, and they're all shorter. Some are novellas, and one is a novel, but they can all be read like in a matter of a day. Generally, I would say, for the average reader. 2 of them are out now. One of them is going to be a pre-order that will be available next month. And all 3 of them are different stylistically. We have one that's more of a hardcore, over-the-top gory horror. Then we have one that's more of a creep fest, more traditional horror as it builds the tension and creeps up on you there. And then another one that is creepy in its own right, but is also so heart-wrenching. So we have something here for everybody, and I hope you're going to enjoy these 3 shorter indie horror books. And as always, I want to remind you that I have books for sale, and you can find those at the link in the description below. And my story is in the anthology Ooze, Little Bursts of Body Horror, along with 20 other authors, and you can find the link for that book in the description below. All right, let's get started. All right, so the first book I'm going to talk about today, yeah, look at that cover. It's called The Circus of Hungry Clowns by Cesar Ruel. This one is probably the shortest one on the list. It's right around 75 pages. But oh man, what a great 75 pages it is. We all know clowns are creepy, right? Everybody knows clowns are creepy. But these clowns are especially creepy. It's set in the 1800s. A circus comes to a small village, and a father and son want to go see the circus. It winds up being a circus of nothing but clown acts. And almost all the town is there. And once they get inside and the clowns start doing their separate performances, they take different children from the audience to serve as volunteers for their acts. After it's all said and done, the kids are gone. Nobody knows where the kids are. And our main protagonist, he's the only one that seems to be concerned. The rest of the parents whose children are missing they're just like, they just went and joined the circus, no big deal. But this father is determined to find out what happened to his son. His son is missing. Is he kidnapped? Is he dead? And so he goes back to the circus to try to set things right. And it's just incredible what happens from there. It's bloody, it's gory, it's a fun, short read that you can easily pick up, finish in one day, and be glad that you did. And once they find out what's really going on with these clowns, it's pretty gross and disgusting, but you'll have to read it for yourself to find out. So yes, as with all of these books, I will leave a link down below where you can purchase your copy of The Circus of Hungry Clowns. It's a good one. The second book I want to talk about, this one isn't coming out until next month. But it's called Agonys Lodestone by Laura Keating. However, the link for Amazon isn't going to be available until later this month. But there is a link where you can check out the book and pre-order a package if you want to. And this package includes a signed hardcover edition of the book, I believe. It's got a t-shirt. It's got some other things in this package right from the publisher's website if you want to do that. But either way, bookmark this page. And as soon as the pre-order link becomes available on Amazon, I will change it in the description so you can go ahead and pre-order it. Because this one is a creep fest. This concerns 4 siblings. And the oldest one went missing from a walk in the woods. She went for a hike and never came back. 20 years later, the other 3 siblings, who have kind of been estranged for all this time, they've all kind of gone their separate ways. They don't see it eye to eye anymore. But one of them contacts the other 2 and says, I found her. I found what happened to her, or there's a clue as to what happened to her. After 20 years, we finally might be able to figure out what happened to our oldest sister. And they have a videotape, and this videotape supposedly shows something that went on with their sister in the woods all those years ago. So it's kind of like a found footage kind of horror. But then they decide to go into this portion of the woods where this thing was taped, which is supposed to be off limits to the public, to try to piece together the clues themselves, because the police, they don't know. They have no new answers for them. And once they get into those woods, my friends, that's where things get really weird. If you thought it was creepy before, wait until they get in these woods, because something is going on out there. I'm not going to say what, but even when we get to the end, things just keep getting creepier and creepier, weirder and weirder as this book goes on. And it's a real creep fest, is what I'll tell you there. It's really a scary, well-told book. It's got that found footage vibe. It's got the Lost in the Woods vibe. It's got a small town and a little mystery behind it vibe. It's got all these things rolled into one, and it's an excellent, excellent book. And you're really going to want to pick up a copy. So like I said, bookmark this video. And as soon as a pre-order link becomes available on Amazon, I will put that in the description. But for right now, check out the publisher's website for the book. And maybe you're interested in getting the package, the pre-order package, right from them. It's definitely worth your money and your time. So go ahead and check that out. And last but certainly not least, there's a book called Linghan by Ai Jiang. I think that's how you pronounce her name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. But this one is, this book is about a town called Home. That's the name of the town. This town is special because if you purchase a house in this town, which is stuck in time almost, has no technological advances, it's old school, old-fashioned, never seeming to have moved forward with the rest of the world. And the reason for that is because if you own a home in this town, you are allowed to speak to your dead loved ones. They come back as spirits, yes, but they come back to you as long as they're inside the home. They can't leave these houses in this village. But you can speak with your dead loved ones. You can spend time with them every day. You can eat with them as much as, spirits can eat. But you can make memories with them. You can communicate with them again. And this book is about grief. And this town is the perfect the perfect physical representation of what happens when we grieve. Because if you've ever lost somebody very close to you, you know how easy it is for time to slip away. Like the rest of the world is moving on, and yet you seem to be stuck at that time when that loved one passed away. You're not moving forward. But the rest of the world moves on, and this town is a perfect example of how people feel inside when they lose a loved one. They can't get on with their lives because they have this person that they are missing so bad that they just can't get past it. And we are going to be hearing from certain families in this town, why they are there, who their loved ones are, and some people got dragged along and don't actually want to be there. We're going to hear about them too. But then in this town, there are people called lingerers. Lingerers are people that actually live on the lawns of properties in this town. They live on the streets because they're waiting for somebody to move out. Because when somebody moves out of a home or out of a house in this town called Home, there's an auction that goes on. And the winner of this auction gets to place a bid for that home to become theirs so they can see their loved ones again. But these auctions, as we're going to find out, are very bloody, very brutal. And you have to be very cunning or strong or kind of crafty and be willing to not care about your fellow human being if you want a chance to win so that you can place your bid, so that you can have a house there and communicate with your dead loved ones again. So all these areas of grief are explored in this short but very tense, very well told, beautifully written, and oh my God, heart-wrenching story. Because it will tug on your heartstrings there. It really will. And I definitely highly recommend it. And for all three of these books, there are links in the description where you can go ahead and either purchase them or pre-order them. And I hope you do, because they are worthy of your time and attention. All right, and as always, I want to say thank you for taking some of your time, spending it here with me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And until we meet again, keep reading spooky, my friends.